What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in. As you see, we got a treat for you guys. This video is being sponsored by OlsaTools. Do more, do better with OlsaTools. They sent me a set of their 3-piece push-button adjustable water pump pliers. So it's got the push-button release, heavy-duty forged steel, and soft grip handles, which we all know and love. And the set contains a 7, a 10, and a 12-inch pair of pliers. And there's a little bit more about the naming there. Once again, push button adjustable water pump plier set. They are produced in Canada. They're designed and laid out in Canada rather, and they are produced and manufactured in Taiwan. So let's kind of check these out and see what Ulsa has provided us with. Now, I've already gone through the box. I've already kind of played around with it a little bit, and I wanted to look at the pliers, get a good chance to spend some time with them. And so I would know more about the design overall. So here's a general design. We'll talk about that before we get into all the specs. They are listed as, let's get a bigger pair so you guys can see that. They are showing there or stamped with the DIN ISO 8976, which is the German spec for water pump pliers and nippers. Basically, it defines the performance characteristics, overall design, etc. So any pliers that are trying to fit that bill must be somewhat compliant to compliant to that DIN ISO specification. So these, once again, these are the this is what the 12-inch set or the 12-inch pair based upon their length. And this particular set, let's get my spec sheet out here. This particular set, I believe, has 32 positions. They're on the teeth there. It does feature teeth on both sides of the groove. I know there's some, such as some other manufacturers out there, Comparative, which only feature teeth on one side on their most recent designs, and they've got a smooth side here. And that's basically so that you can adjust it downward, obviously using the teeth on this side, and then on the back side there, it allows you to slide the plier or this handle here up without needing to push the button in. But like I said, this one here is has a 70mm jaw opening and 32 positions on the teeth. So you can slide it all the way down. And once again, you have to push the button in order to get it to slide back up. They do have the chrome moly steel design. It's high carbon steel. I believe it's actually high carbon steel. I think it's 1060 is what they mentioned. The jaw is hardened steel, of course. Obviously, it needs to be. They do feature that profiled or angled profile on the jaw, and that's what allows these pliers, when you really bite in and you kind of get them set, you're relying upon that teeth, those teeth there, that back angle there to kind of grip in. So you got a forward grip here on the bottom, which kind of push inward, and you've got the top one, which are opposite of that angle. And so when you actually set them and grip in, what you're doing is you're effectively deforming the material and allowing these teeth to kind of sink into the substrate. Now that's important to note, because if you have a fastener or even a pipe or something like that that you do not want to mar up, you may not want to use these types of pliers, or you may want to incorporate a shop towel or some type of a softer surface that will reduce the amount of wear. But if you're trying to really lock them in, you're relying upon those teeth to really dig into the substrate and perform that nice mechanical bond, if you will. But they have that standard push button design. And I do have some Nipex pliers here as a general comparison, but these are not meant to be exact comparisons to the Nipex or Comparative brand, but rather Ulsa's take on that DIN ISO 8976 specification, which does define the general design of the pliers and performance parameters for it. So a little bit about this. These are coming in a price tag, I believe, of $60.87 for the entire set. It was fairly hard to find the information on that, I must admit, but I believe that is the cost of these pliers here. Now, what I've done is I went through and looked at a couple comparative pliers just in general, just kind of get an idea of how they fit in. So if you're looking at channel locks, you're looking to pay about $39.84 all the way up to about 52 bucks for a set. And those are going to be American made. Knipex, which we all know is German, and it looks like a set for those is going to range anywhere from $69.99 to about $89.99, depending on where you buy them at. Now, all these prices are subject to change and may vary based upon your actual location. There's some Irwins, which are around $42.15 for a 3-piece set. The Harbor Freight are looking at $13.99. Now, I know they do have the Doyles, and I believe the Doyles are a little bit more than that. Now, I'm talking about 3-piece sets, so I don't know if the Doyles are offered in the 3-piece set, but I know they do have some that are fairly similar to these, or meant to have that same reminiscent style, I guess you would say. Gear Wrench does offer a set at $56.99. Work Pro, we know, offers a set of pliers as well. I think they're at like $24.99, and then Tecton coming in at $39.99. So they all have that push button feature that we all like. They pretty much all have the dual teeth design here, which means you have to push the button in to adjust in both directions or bidirectional. And then obviously when you set your jaw, you put your top jaw on your workpiece, and you set the distance with the bottom jaw, and you kind of lock it in, and you hear that click sound there, and that means your pliers are set in place and there's a good bite on the substrate, right? So these all fit the same profile, the same build. There's no big difference in how they function overall. Same general function. The big thing for me is going to be whether or not the teeth are hardened and how sharp they are, and do they pick up a good angle. That's, like I said, that's necessary because you're relying upon that angle of the jaw set as well as their ability to bite into the substrate to really give you that good grip. And we all know that if you've ever played around with any of the Knipex pliers, these are the Cobras there. Very, very beautiful set of pliers. We know that these have a tremendous amount of gripping power, and as well as a very good positive bite onto the substrate. And the teeth are very, very sharp. We also have some of these other Knipex here. These are the alligator pliers, and they also have the same design. And as you can see there, maybe you guys can't, but as you can see there, the teeth are that's not really showing. There you go. They're very, very sharp and a very, very positive angle on there. So there's no chance of those slipping once you've bitten down real tightly on the substrate. They all use the hinge bolt design. It is a V-jaw profile, which we know they pretty much all have that. They do feature fine adjustments for up and down. What else here? And then the push button, obviously, for multi positions, and they range differently. So like the 6.5-inch pair has 24 adjustments. The 10-inch pair has, I think, 19 positions, and the 70mm has 32, if that's correct, if I remember correctly. But yeah, overall it's pretty good. The part numbers for each pair individually, it starts out as DWP-7AD, then 10AD, and 12AD. And once again, they're $60.87 for the set. Now, one of the interesting things about these pliers was their ability to bite in. And I'm gonna pick up the camera here, and we're gonna move over towards the pliers. So I was playing around with them, and in my shop, which is gonna be a mess, and there's crap everywhere because it's a at-home shop. I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna take you guys around to not anything special, so we're not gonna go there. But I was messing around, and I needed something round, right? This is a real review here, guys. This is not anything fake. This is a real review. So I wanted to see how well they would bite into the surface. Now, I don't have an elaborate workpiece setup or anything like that. All I have is this bar. So I set them, I'm pushing down, and I'm trying to see how well they bite. They bite, they hang there. I put all my weight on them, and you can see the flex there, guys. So they're biting in really, really good, okay? So they're set. Now, I'm gonna take my foot and my sock there. You guys probably like my pretty dress socks there. And I'm gonna stand on them. And it lifts the entire table. When I push down, this whole table moves. Let me see if I can get back. So you see there, it moves the entire table with me pressing down, and they're still locked in place. Now I'm 210 pounds, 215, and these pliers bit down really, really aggressively, right? I mean, they're on there. And so I'm gonna say that as far as being able to grip onto the workpiece, these OlsaTools water pump pliers or adjustable pliers are a great deal. They bite really, really nicely. And I think personally, you would be well pressed to find a better pair of Taiwanese made pliers that do a better job than the OlsaTools brand. They did a really good job of designing these, laying out the teeth profile, making sure that they chose the proper steels in order to produce the pliers. And those angles, guys, I'm telling you, let me see if I can get a good angle or a good view there. Those teeth are important. They are important as much as anything, as much as the strength of the metal, the hardness of the jaw. Those teeth are important. They have to bite down into the substrate. And I'm very impressed that they were able to achieve the DEN ISO 8976 specification. That is important as well, because that does give them a little bit of prominence, and it does say that they are meeting that national spec that most pliers that are in this style should be aiming to meet. Like I said, the set is $60.87. Now, when you compare that to some other pliers, I believe Knipex is like around $69 and ranging all the way up to $89. So these are on the higher end of the price profile. But I think that if you're not looking, depending on where you're buying your Knipex from, maybe you can find them cheaper, or Knipex rather. If you can find them cheaper on Amazon or eBay, you know, okay, fine. But if you're going to buy Knipex directly off a tool truck or off the Knipex site, I believe that the OlsaTools is a tad bit cheaper than that. Now, there may be people that may try to prove me wrong, so that's fair. It's my opinion. But I think that Knipex are cheaper than that, and that OlsaTools are cheaper than that, and it gives you really, really good value for what they are. Now, the only other thing, I almost slipped. Oh my God, if I had slipped, I'd have been upset. The only other thing that I want to point out is this. Okay, you see, man, lighting. You see that back plate there? They did not use a fully forged handle or arm, whatever you want to call it, like Knipex does. They use a back plate. So let's look at a pair of Knipex. You see there, Knipex did not. They use a single forged piece of metal in order to produce the jaw. And what that means is these are overall structurally probably stronger than the OlsaTools, because obviously for every joint that exists on anything that's mechanically built and machined and forged, every little joint could potentially be a weak spot. So those little tack points, or whatever you want to call them, present a challenge or a potential failure point within the design overall. But I don't foresee, based upon their overall design, I don't ever foresee these pliers seeing a lot of stress at those points there. So I think you're fairly safe to buy these, in my opinion, as a mechanical engineer. So I'm not just pulling it out of my, rear end there. I think from a mechanical engineering perspective, based upon how the pliers bite down and how the force is being applied once the pliers are set, that's gonna, this plate here is gonna be negligible as far as its impact on whether or not these will survive over time. So the main thing that I want to see overall for these pliers, and it's going to be one of those components that you need to have time with these pliers in order to really ascertain, and that's going to be the wear of the jaw. Now, all pliers over time, they're going to wear on that jaw, especially if they're being heavily used. You're going to see some wear start to occur on those teeth, and it's going to be important to see how well these wear down. It is wear resistant. They all claim that they're wear resistant design and materials, but over time things wear. It's just how things work out. So we need to see that. And that's going to be something that's going to take some time to really play around with the pliers and get them some use in order to really determine how well they hold up over time. So if you're out there, you're looking for a good set of pliers. Now, I've watched a lot of videos, guys. I've watched a lot, and I'm not going to name any YouTube channels, but I got a lot of respect for you guys out there. I will name one, Client Graphics. Chris over at Client Graphics did a great job, and he reviewed a lot of pliers, and I used his plier video to kind of, if you will, review these, right? So I wanted some ideas on what I could do. Now, Chris had a very nice setup with the tubing that he used and the ability to put his weight on the pliers. I like that. I didn't have that with me right now. Wasn't going to Lowe's or Home Depot to get the materials. Not on this video. I wanted to get this out. So I did my little makeshift test where I stood on it. And I think I'm a little bit heavier than Chris, but maybe not. I don't know. And these things held up really, really nicely. So Ulsa, you guys did a great job. The question would be, once again, how well does the material wear in the jaw? All right. Whether or not this back plate will cause any issues for anyone out there, because I mean, only time will tell, right? Let's see here, the cost. I need to confirm cost of these in comparison. I believe, like I said, the Knipex are roughly $70 to $90 for the 3-piece set. That is subjective, once again, because I can't speak for everywhere throughout the US and Canada and anyone else watching this video. Just my quick internet search, that's what I could find in my area. So guys, please check them out. Like I said, if you're looking for a good set of pliers that hold up, that meet some of those basic level tests, that also have a DEN specification assigned to them, the DEN ISO 8976, I would encourage you guys to check out OlsaTools push button adjustable water pump pliers 3-piece set, guys, coming in at $60.87 on their website. Hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed it. Thank you. Special thanks to OlsaTools for supplying me with these pliers. I do have another set of pliers that they sent me that we will be making another video for. That's going to be dropping tomorrow. So if you're interested in more tools from OlsaTools, hey, follow me on the channel, guys. Make sure that you're subscribed. Make sure that you leave a comment. Let me know what you think. We want to know. OlsaTools, they're watching. I'm watching. We want to know what you guys think about these. I'm going to go ahead and create some videos and some pictures for these and drop these on my Instagram channel or Instagram account as well at Midwest_tool_review. So if you're not following me on YouTube, make sure you're subscribed. And if you're not following me on Instagram, make sure that you do so. All right, guys. Peace.